Hello BookTube, Emmy Walker here to do a small book haul. I ended up buying a few more books toward the end of April, so I figured I would just tack it on here with my May TBR. So we'll go ahead and get started with those first. So the first book I picked up was Affinity by Sarah Waters. I've been watching Eleanor Reads Books on her BookTube channel, and she's been reading a decent amount of Sarah Waters and picking up a lot of others. She really seems to enjoy her, so I figured I would see what she enjoys so much. Then I picked up The Golem and the Jinni by Helene Wecker, and I know very little of this. I remember seeing some other BookTube channel, I think it was Little Book Owl, mentioning this book and it possibly being a part of her book club, so I figured I would pick it up just in case it became that book club. Either way, I'd like to read it. I've been hearing some pretty good things about it. I also finally picked up a copy of The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I got it for like $6 at Half Price Books, and I only noticed afterward that there's this little nick in the paper here. It's not that big of a deal, I guess. And finally I got a copy of Prince Lestat by Anne Rice in audiobook, and it was only $6, which is amazing considering it's usually $45. It was marked as is, and considering it's a very new book, I think it's only about a month or two old, and it was marked down to $6 or $5.99. It's probably going to be pretty scratched up, but I figured I couldn't pass it up. I'm going to take the risk and hope that it's not so scratched up, but that just means that I have to read the others because I stopped reading after The Vampire Lestat with Anne Rice. I need to do that, which actually leads me into my, May TBR. So I'm planning to use May as my finish up the series month. I have a lot of longer series, some shorter series that I've read the first book or read the first couple of books and then just stopped completely, and I really want to get those out of the way, out of my TBR, because eventually I'm going to forget what's happened in these books, and some of them I actually have. Thankfully they're pretty good about mentioning what's happened in each of the books that you would need to know from previous books, that I'm not too worried about it because I have no time to reread books unless it's something like Harry Potter or something like that. A while back, a good 2 years maybe, I started reading the Cirque du Freak series. I finished the first 3 books and then I just put them down. I didn't even bother reading I think there's 13 total. I purchased books 4, 5, 6, and 7, but I just never picked them up. But they're really short reads. I mean, they're all, I think, under 100 pages, or all under 200 pages, really quick. I don't know why I didn't just pick them up in the first place, but I'm gonna read these 4. I only own these 4 plus 1, 2, and 3, and I get to the point where I finish number 7 and I'm no longer interested in finishing the series. I'm just going to stop and not even bother buying them. But if I am interested, I can buy the last, 6, I guess. I should probably give you the titles. Book number 4 is Vampire Mountain. Book number 5 is Trials of Death. Book number 6 is The Vampire Prince. And book number 7 is Hunters on the Dusk. And they're all by Darren Shan. And then I'm going to be continuing on with the Vampire Chronicles series by Anne Rice with The Queen of the Damned. I already finished The Interview with the Vampire and The Vampire Lestat, and I loved The Vampire Lestat. I remember loving The Interview with the Vampire, but I read that so long ago. I only have a whisper of memory on what that's about, and I refuse to watch the one with Tom Cruise. I only stopped reading them because I heard that they kind of go downhill from that book. So I was so afraid of ruining the story that I didn't want to have it ruined, but I think that the Prince Lestat, which is her new book, is going to be great, and I don't want to go into it not having read the others. Then I'm going to continue on with the Ascendance trilogy by Jennifer Nielsen with The Runaway King, and then The Shadow Throne. The False Prince was amazing, and I have no idea why I didn't just immediately pick up these 2, because they were both out whenever I finished it, so, bad me. The final book I'm going to read toward my series trilogy completion effort is going to be Emerald Green. This is the 3rd book in the Ruby Red trilogy by Kirsten Gier, and it's another one that I love the first 2 books, and I shame on myself for not picking up this one sooner, because I'm sure I'm going to like this one just as much. The final book I intend to read for May is going to be An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. I don't know if you can see that really well, sorry about that. I pre-ordered it on my Kindle and it popped up, and it was only like $3 when I pre-ordered it from the Kindle. I was like, heck yeah! So there we go. And it's actually the Booksplosion Book of the Month. I am finally going to participate in it this month. Alright, but that was my May TBR and the small book haul that I had. Make sure to comment down below any books of mine that you've read or you plan to read as well. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Alright, we'll see you later, BookTube. Okay, so I loved... And then I'm going to be continuing on... Wow, did that make any sense to anybody but me? By Jennifer Nielsen.